Dear Starseed from Gaia, something you lost years ago is about to come back with him attached. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and the reunion guides are speaking through me because this return is closer than your human eyes can see. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to navigate twin flame separation and recognize what this returning connection means for your divine union. But here's the first revelation. What you lost was not merely a person, a promise, or a chapter of your past. It was a piece of your heart that had to be reclaimed before he could return with the love, truth, and readiness your soul has been waiting for. You didn't find this video by chance. Your heart called this message in. This isn't just a message. It's a moment of divine intervention. Your soul has been waiting for this guidance. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Comment, 11 if you feel your heart awakening to divine truth. Your heart knows why you're here. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with recognition, is not sadness. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive. If this transmission stirred something you cannot name, the Divine Love Frequency Code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed to dissolve the wounds blocking your divine counterpart and activate the signal that draws them closer. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time. And as you remain here, allow yourself to notice what is moving through you, not the part that wants to predict every detail. Identify him, locate him, or force the future into a shape the mind can control. Notice the quieter part, the part that feels something has been waiting beneath the surface of your life, beneath responsibilities, disappointments, survival, and the strength you learn to perform for everyone else. Because sometimes what returns through a person is not only a person. Sometimes the soul uses a meeting to return your laughter, your softness, your confidence, and your ability to imagine a future without immediately preparing for its collapse. Sometimes what comes back attached to him is the version of you who stopped believing love could feel safe. Sometimes it is the creative voice you silenced when someone convinced you that your dreams were too much. Sometimes it is the peace you surrendered while trying to earn attention from people who could only offer inconsistency. A person may arrive like a doorway, but what you find beyond that doorway may be your own forgotten light. This is why the energy surrounding this return may feel larger than ordinary attraction. It may stir old memories, unfamiliar tenderness, or the strange sensation of standing at the edge of a life you once knew was possible. The heart does not always recognize a person first. Sometimes it recognizes the frequency of who you become in their presence. It notices that your breath deepens, your imagination opens, and a part of you that has been sleeping begins to lift its head toward the sun. But this is also where discernment becomes essential. A sacred connection does not ask you to abandon yourself in order to keep it. A divine counterpart does not require you to ignore disrespect, tolerate confusion, or turn longing into a substitute for mutual action. The return of something precious is not an invitation to repeat the pattern that caused you to lose it. It is an invitation to receive differently, with an open heart and an awake mind. Let what is aligned come close, but do not chase what remains unavailable, simply because the connection feels intense. Many souls struggle with divine love because they are not truly afraid of love itself. They are afraid of what love will reveal. They fear that being fully seen will expose every wound they have worked so hard to conceal. They fear that if they stop performing strength, the person they desire will discover that they still need reassurance, tenderness, patience, and care. They fear vulnerability because being met means they can no longer hide behind the familiar identity of the one who survives alone. So they ask for love while unconsciously building walls around the places where love would need to enter. They say they want a devoted partner, but their nervous system has learned to interpret peace as boredom and uncertainty as chemistry. They ask for sacred union, but remain emotionally attached to someone who appears only when lonely. They pray for a counterpart who can meet them in truth while continuing to negotiate with people who benefit from their confusion. They feel the call toward intimacy, then retreat when intimacy becomes real enough to require honesty. This is not a failure. It is an emotional body that learned to protect itself. The heart remembers every time it reached and was dismissed. It remembers promises that became silence, affection that became distance, and moments when you were told to lower your expectations, quiet your intuition, accept less, and call that maturity. These experiences create invisible instructions within you. Do not need too much. Do not ask direct questions. Do not show how deeply you care. Do not become excited. And do not trust the good moment because it will not last. Those instructions may have protected you once, but they cannot guide you into sacred union. The love your soul is preparing to receive requires a new internal language. It asks you to stop treating your needs as evidence of weakness, and to stop confusing self-abandonment with unconditional love. Compassion for another person does not mean surrendering your boundaries. Spiritual connection does not erase earthly responsibility. If love is divine, it will also be honest, accountable, and capable of existing in the real world. The Arcturian heart wisdom speaks of the heart as a living chamber of memory. Within it are not only memories of pain, but original patterns of trust, reciprocity, joy, and belonging. When the heart is wounded, those patterns do not disappear. They become covered, like a spring buried beneath stone. They wait beneath the emotional debris for the moment you are ready to uncover them without handing your power to another person. That is why this return may be connected to something you lost years ago. You are not being asked to become who you were before the heartbreak. You are being invited to recover the truth that existed before heartbreak taught you to doubt yourself. The first key is the worthiness unlock. You must stop making love a reward for perfect healing. There is a subtle wound that tells you a divine counterpart will arrive only after you have become flawless, endlessly positive, completely detached, and untouched by fear. This belief can appear spiritual, but it often becomes another form of rejection. You keep postponing your own life because you believe you must be fully repaired before you are allowed to be loved. But sacred love does not require you to have no wounds. It requires honesty about them. It requires responsibility for what is yours without carrying what belongs to someone else. Being human does not disqualify you from being cherished. Your worth was not reduced by the relationship that failed. It was not determined by the person who could not choose you. It was not measured by the years you spent waiting, healing, or beginning again. You do not become worthy when someone returns. You remember your worth so clearly that you can recognize whether the return is capable of honoring it. When this key turns, desire changes. You no longer reach toward love from the place of hoping someone will finally prove that you matter. You begin to move from the truth that you already matter, and the love entering your life must be capable of meeting that truth. This does not make you closed. It makes you clear. Place your hand over your heart and notice where you still believe you must earn tenderness. You may find a memory, a sentence, or the image of a younger self waiting to be chosen. Do not force it away. Say quietly, "I no longer need to suffer to prove that I am worthy of being loved." Let the body hear the words. Let the younger part of you learn that the future is not required to repeat the past. The second key is the mirror of recognition. The person connected to your return may awaken parts of you that have been dormant, but his presence is not meant to replace your identity. There is a difference between recognition and projection. Recognition feels like a deepening of your own truth. Projection feels like placing your unfinished dreams onto another person and calling the intensity destiny. Recognition allows you to see someone as they are. Projection asks them to become the answer to everything you have been missing. If he is truly aligned with your path, his presence will not require you to become smaller, more anxious, or less honest. Even when the connection challenges you, it will ultimately bring you into greater self-respect. You may feel exposed, but you will not feel erased. You may be invited to grow, but you will not be asked to betray your values. The mirror does not simply show you what you desire in him. It shows you what is becoming possible within you. If you admire his steadiness, perhaps your own steadiness is waking. If you feel safe enough to speak honestly, perhaps your voice is returning. If his energy calls forth your creativity, sensuality, courage, or playfulness, understand that he may be reflecting a part of you that was never truly lost. It was waiting for permission to come forward. This is the sacred use of connection, not completion, but revelation. When you stop asking, "How can I make him stay?" and begin asking, Who am I becoming through the truth of this connection? You reclaim the center of your life. You can love deeply without making another person responsible for your wholeness. You can honor the bond without turning every sign into a command. You can allow it to unfold through reality, consistency, communication, and choice. The third key is karmic release. Old contracts must be dissolved before new love can be received without distortion. Some relationships remain energetically present long after they have ended because a part of you is still attempting to obtain a different ending. You replay conversations, imagine what you should have said, revisit the moment everything changed, and wonder whether one more explanation could transform the past. But the heart cannot fully receive what is approaching while it is still sitting at the table of an old agreement, waiting for someone to offer what they never had the capacity to give. Release does not mean the relationship meant nothing. It means its meaning no longer depends on continuation. You can honor what you learned and still close the door. You can be grateful for the awakening and still refuse to reopen the wound. You can forgive without becoming available to the same pattern. You can love someone at a distance while choosing a life that does not require you to abandon your peace. An old contract says, "I will keep waiting until they understand. I will remain emotionally available in case they return. I will accept partial love because some connection is better than none. I will endure this confusion because the intensity must mean it is sacred." But intensity is not always intimacy. Longing is not always guidance. A bond can be meaningful and still be unhealthy for your present life. Release begins when you withdraw your energy from the outcome and bring it back to your body, your home, your friendships, your work, your creativity, and your future. Each time you refuse to chase an unanswered message, interpret silence as a hidden promise, or make decisions based on imagined potential instead of neutral reality, you dissolve an old contract. This creates space for the return to arrive in a new form. And if the person returns but the old pattern returns with him, you will recognize the difference. You will no longer call familiar pain a sacred test. The fourth key is divine timing. Surrender. Your heart knows the schedule, but your fear wants a calendar. There may have been years when you felt life was moving forward for everyone except you. You watched others enter relationships, create homes, build families, and receive the companionship you had quietly asked for. You may have wondered whether your path was delayed because you were being punished, forgotten, or excluded from the love meant for other people. But timing is not a judgment of your value. Sometimes time creates distance between you and an identity that could not have sustained what you asked to receive. Sometimes delay develops the discernment needed to tell the difference between emotional familiarity and genuine compatibility. Sometimes you are not waiting for a person to become ready. You are becoming ready to stop accepting the version of love that once kept you occupied. Surrender does not mean doing nothing. It means releasing the belief that panic can produce alignment. You still communicate, meet people, make choices, and take practical steps toward the life you desire. But you stop trying to control every detail of how and when the heart's answer must arrive. The soul moves in patterns the mind cannot always see. A meeting that appears sudden may have been prepared by years of inner change. A return that appears delayed may be arriving only now because you finally have the strength to receive it without making it your entire identity. Let timing become a place of trust rather than punishment. You are not late. You are not behind. Your life is not a failed version of someone else's timeline. What is meant for you must be able to meet the person you are now, not the person you were before the lessons. The fifth key is magnetic embodiment. Become the energy you seek, not as a performance, but as a way of living. If you desire a partner who communicates clearly, practice telling yourself the truth. If you desire emotional safety, stop volunteering for situations that repeatedly activate fear. If you desire devotion, become devoted to your own well-being. If you desire tenderness, allow yourself to receive care without immediately questioning whether you have earned it. Your frequency is not a mood. It is the pattern created by what you repeatedly tolerate, pursue, believe, and embody. You cannot call in peace while building your life around chaos. You cannot call in reciprocity while continuously pouring into people who offer crumbs. You cannot call in a partner who honors your heart while speaking to yourself with the cruelty of every person who wounded you. Magnetism begins when your outer choices stop contradicting your inner prayer. This may look ordinary. It may look like sleeping instead of checking your phone all night, returning to your art, caring for your body, having the conversation you have avoided, or leaving a room where your spirit becomes smaller. It may look like enjoying your life before the relationship arrives, not because you have given up on love, but because you refuse to make love the condition for your aliveness. The heart becomes magnetic when it is no longer begging to be rescued from a life it has abandoned. The sixth key is separation wisdom. Distance is not always rejection, but neither is every distance a promise of reunion. There are periods when two people must grow independently before they can meet with greater maturity. Space can reveal what closeness concealed. It can show whether the bond was built on genuine care or on the addictive cycle of pursuit and withdrawal. It can teach both people the difference between missing someone and being prepared to love them well. If this connection has been separated by time, circumstance, fear, or unfinished healing, allow the distance to reveal rather than manipulate. Do not use silence as a strategy. Do not perform detachment to provoke a response. Do not send energetic demands into the unknown and call them intuition. Let the space be honest. If the connection is aligned, honest action will eventually have a place within it. There will be movement that can be witnessed, words that can be understood, and choices that do not require you to decode every absence. If there is no movement, you are still allowed to move forward. Your life is not suspended while another person decides what they feel. The gift of separation is that it teaches you to belong to yourself. When you can love someone and remain present in your own life, the connection becomes cleaner. When you can wish someone well without abandoning your standards, you have crossed a powerful threshold. When his return is no longer required for you to feel complete, you can recognize whether his presence is an addition to your wholeness or a distraction from it. The seventh key is reunion readiness. The final lock opens from within. Reunion is not simply the moment two people stand in the same room again. It is the moment the conditions for a healthier relationship have been created. It requires more than chemistry. It requires accountability, timing, emotional availability, and the courage to speak about what happened without using the past as a weapon. You may be ready to reunite when you can welcome the person without worshiping the memory, hear his words while observing his actions, and say what you need without fearing that honesty will make him leave. You may be ready when you can remain open to love without negotiating away your boundaries. He may return with something attached, but you must ask whether the attachment is an old wound, an old pattern, or a genuine offering. Is he bringing accountability? Is he bringing clarity? Is he bringing the capacity to participate in the love your heart has matured to require? Or is he bringing only nostalgia, familiar words, and the same unresolved behavior wrapped in a more emotional story? Your heart can be compassionate and discerning at the same time. Do not punish the future because the past hurt you, but do not hand the future the keys to your life without observing whether it knows how to care for what you give. Sacred love is not proven by how much pain you can endure. It is revealed by how much truth, safety, and mutual growth can exist between two people. The deepest revelation is this: what you lost years ago may not be returning because someone else has come to give it to you. It may be returning because you have finally become safe enough within yourself to reclaim it. The joy was always yours, the voice was always yours, the tenderness was always yours, the faith in life was always yours. Perhaps this person is connected to the return because his presence reflects the doorway through which those qualities reawaken. Perhaps he carries a conversation, a memory, an opportunity, or a form of love that helps you recognize what has been waiting inside you. But the source of your wholeness does not live outside you. This matters because when you believe another person carries the missing piece of your soul, fear begins to control the connection. You become afraid of losing him before you have even met him fully. You interpret every pause as danger. You try to secure the future by abandoning the present. You make the connection carry the weight of every year you felt unseen. But when you understand that the return is also your own return to yourself, fear begins to loosen. You can receive him without clinging. You can listen without inventing. You can love without disappearing. The soul may be bringing you toward a relationship, but it is also bringing you toward a new way of inhabiting your own heart. This is why the years were not wasted. The time did not only separate you from what you wanted, it introduced you to what you would no longer accept. It taught you to recognize the difference between desire and alignment. It showed you where you were still seeking approval from people who could not see your depth. And it brought you face to face with the parts of yourself that needed gentleness rather than judgment. Every ending that forced you inward was preparing you to receive outward love without using it as an escape from yourself. If you feel tears rising, let them come. They may be grief for the years you spent believing you had to live without what your heart desired. They may be relief that you can finally stop fighting your softness. They may be the emotional body releasing the old instruction that says love must be difficult to be real. You do not have to chase what is truly aligned. You do not have to convince a person to recognize your value. You do not have to become mysterious, perfect, endlessly available, or impossible to lose. What belongs in your life will not require you to become absent from yourself. And if this return is meant to unfold through him, let it unfold through truth. Let him meet the person you are now. Let him encounter your standards, your tenderness, your discernment, and your full presence. Let the connection be built in the real world through conversations, consistency, responsibility, and mutual choice. Do not accept a spiritual explanation for behavior that requires a human boundary. The divine does not ask you to remain in confusion indefinitely. Your intuition does not need to be defended by constant anxiety. A sacred bond can be powerful and still be grounded. It can feel mysterious and still be respectful. It can awaken old memories and still create new safety. Tonight, before you sleep, place one hand over your heart and one over your lower abdomen. Breathe slowly. Do not visualize a specific face unless that image arises peacefully. Instead, feel the qualities you are ready to welcome: honesty, warmth, devotion, emotional presence, playfulness, courage, and peace. Then say, I welcome what returns in truth. I release what returns only as a pattern. I am worthy of love that meets me in reality. I trust myself to recognize the difference. Let those words move beyond the mind. Let them reach the place that has been waiting for permission to stop running after what keeps retreating. Something may be returning, yes, but the greatest return is the return of your own authority, your ability to choose, and your ability to feel deeply without losing your center. It is the return of the part of you that knows love is not supposed to leave you permanently depleted. And when he appears, whether as a renewed connection, a new person carrying a familiar frequency, or a moment that opens a door you thought had closed forever, do not ask only, is this the one I have been waiting for? Ask, does this connection allow me to remain loyal to the person I have become? That question will protect the sacredness of your heart, because you are not being prepared merely to be chosen. You are being prepared to choose with clarity. You are not being prepared merely to receive attention. You are being prepared to receive a love that can hold attention, responsibility, tenderness, and truth. You are not being prepared to return to the past. You are being prepared to meet the future without dragging old wounds into its foundation. The thing you lost may come back with him attached. But you are the one who must decide whether the door opens. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This isn't content, it's collective healing. Love multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. You're not just watching, you're healing. This is your sacred space. And we're just getting started.